Hey guys, so today I'm going to be reading Act 3 and then we'll do all 4 parts of the Bildgewater story. So this is Act 3, Part 1, Blood, Truth, Death's Daughter. The fist slams into my face again. I go down hard, hitting the deck of Gangplank's ship. Pig iron cuffs dig into my wrists. I'm hauled back upright and forced to kneel alongside TF. Not that my legs would hold me if this pox-ridden mob made me stand. The massive, slab-muscled bastard that hit me swims in and out of focus. Come on now, son, I slur. You're doing it all wrong. I don't see the next one coming. There's an explosion of pain and I'm back on the deck. Once again I'm lifted up and forced to kneel. I spit out blood and teeth, and then I grin. My own ma hits harder than you, boy, and she's been dead and buried for 5 years. He steps back to knock me down again, but a word from Gangplank stops him in his tracks. Enough, says the captain. Swaying slightly, I try to concentrate on Gangplank's blurred outline. Slowly my eyes cleared. At his waist, I see that he's wearing the damned knife that TF stole. Twisted fate, huh? I heard you were good, but I never been one to look down on a good thief, Gangplank said. He steps in close and glares at TF, but a good thief knows better than to steal from me. He hunkers down and looks me square in the eye. And you, if you'd been 2 shades smarter, you could have put that gun to work for me. But we're past that now. Gangplank stands up and turns back to us. I'm not an unreasonable man, he continues. I don't expect folk to bend the knee. I just ask for a modification of respect, something you boys piss all over, and that can't go unpunished. His crew pushes in like dogs waiting for an order to rip us apart. I ain't rattled, though. I won't give him the satisfaction. Do me a favor, he says, nodding towards Twisted Fate. Kill him first. Gangplank chuckles at that. He nods to a crewman who starts banging away on the ship's bell. In answer, dozens more across the port city rung out. Drunks, sailors, and shopkeepers start pouring into the streets drawn by the ruckus. The bastard wants an audience. Bildgewater's watching, boys, Gangplank says. Time to give him a show. Bring out Death's Daughter. There's a cheer, and the deck drums with a clamor of stamping feet. An old cannon is wheeled out. It may be rusted and green with age, but it's still a beauty. I glance over at TF. His head is down. He ain't saying nothing. They took his cards off him once they found them all. They don't even leave him his stupid dandy hat. Some little inbred bastard in the crowd is wearing it. In all my years of knowing TF, he's always had an out. Without one, here and now, he looks defeated. Good. You're getting what you deserve, you son of a bitch, I snarl at him. He stares back at me. There's fire in him still. I ain't proud of how things went. You left me out to rot, I interrupt. Me and the whole crew tried to bring you back, and they died for it, he snaps back at me. We lost Colt, Wallach, and Brick. All of them, just trying to save your stubborn ass. You made it out all right, though, I reply. You know why? Because you're a coward, and there ain't nothing you can ever say that'll change that. The words hit him like a punch in the gut. He doesn't argue. The last glimmer of fight in him goes. His shoulders slump. He's done. I didn't even think TF was a good actor. My anger fades. I feel tired suddenly. Tired and old. Everything went to hell, and maybe you're to blame, he says. I wasn't lying, though. We tried to get you out. Doesn't matter. You'll believe what you want anyway. It takes a moment for that to sink in. It takes another moment longer to realize that I believe him. Damn me, he's right. I do things my way. Always have. Whenever I pushed too far, he always had my back. He was always one with the out, but I didn't listen to him that day, and I haven't since. And now I've killed us both. Suddenly, TF and I are yanked to our feet and dragged towards the cannon. Gangplank pats its muzzle like a prized hound. The Death's Daughter's done well by me, he said. I've been waiting to give her a proper send-off. The heavy chain is dragged forward. The sailors begin to loop it around the cannon. Now I see how this is going to pan out. TF and I are shoved back. The same chain is run around our legs through our manacles. A padlock snaps shut, binding us to the chain. A boarding gate on the ship's bulwark slides open. The cannons rolled into place in the gap. The wharves and the docks of the Bildgewater are now packed with gawkers, here to see the show. Gangplank rests the heel of his boot on the cannon. "Well, I can't get us out of this one," T.S. says over his shoulder. "I always knew you'd get me killed one day." A laugh escapes my lips at that. It's been a long time since I laughed. We're dragged towards the edge of the ship like cattle to slaughter. I guess this is where my story ends. I had a good run for a while there, but no one's luck lasts forever. I know then what I should do. Carefully straining against my manacles, I reach into my back pocket. It's still there. The playing card TF dropped back in the warehouse. I'd aimed to shove it down that bastard's throat. They check TF good for cards, but not me. I nudge him. Chained back to back, it's easy to find I nudge him, chained back to back. It's easy to hand the card off to TF without being seen. I can feel him hesitate as I pass it to him. "You two will make a meager tithe, but you serve," said Gangplank. "Give the bearded lady my regards." With a wave to the crowd, Gangplank kicks the cannon over the side of the ship. It hits the dark water with a splash and sinks fast. The chain on the deck spools out after it. Now at an end, I believe TF. I know he's tried everything to get me out, like he did all those times when we ran together. This time, for once, I've got an out. I can give him that. "Get out of here." He starts going through the motions, spinning the card around his fingers. As the power starts to build, I feel an uncomfortable pressure in the back of my skull. I've always hated being close to him when he does this trick. And then, he's gone. The chains binding TF drop to the deck with a crash. There are shouts from the crowds. My chains are still locked tight, and I ain't getting out of this, but it's worth it to see the look on Gangplank's face. The cannon's chain yanks me off my feet. I hit the deck hard and grunt in pain. In an instant I'm dragged over the edge of the boat. The cold water hits me, stealing my breath, and then I'm under, sinking fast, dragged towards the dark. Act 3, Part 2. The Plunge, A Fight with Darkness, Peace. The card Malcolm puts in my hand could easily get me off the wharf. I'm so close to shore, and from there the huge crowd's just perfect for me to vanish into. I could be off this rat's ass of an island inside the hour. But this time no one would ever find me. And then I can see in my mind is his pissed off face disappearing into the depths. Son of a bitch. I can't leave him, not after last time. There's no running away from this. I know where to go. Pressure builds and then I shift. In an instant, I'm right behind Gangplank, ready to make my move. One of his crew spots me. He looks baffled, like he's trying to figure out how I got there. While he thinks about it, I punch him square in the face. He collapses into the crowd of bewildered deckhands. They turn to me with cutlasses drawn. Gangplank leads the attack, slashing straight at my throat. But I'm faster. In one deft move, I slide underneath the arcing steel and lift Gangplank's prized silver dagger off his belt. Behind me, I hear cursing that could split a mast in two. I leap to the deck, stowing this dagger in my breeches. As the end of the chain tears towards the edge of the ship, I stretch and grab the last steel link before it disappears overboard. The snap of the chain hauls me over the side, and then I realize what I've done. The water is coming at me fast. In that frozen moment, every single part of me wants to let go of the chain. Being a river man who can't swim has plagued me my whole life, and now it'll be the death of me. I take one final gulp of air, then a musket shot rips into my shoulder. I yelp out in pain and lose my last breath before I'm dragged under. Frigid water punches me in the face as I sink into the suffocating blue. This is my nightmare. Panic wells inside me. I try to quell it. It's almost too much. More shots pierce the water above me. I'm still sinking. Sharks and devilfish circle, they taste blood, they follow me deeper into the abyss. Everything is terror, no pain now. My heart pounds in my ears, chest burning. Gotta get out of the water. Darkness coils around me, too far down, no way back. I know that now. But maybe I can save Malcolm. Below me there's a thud, and the chain goes slack. The cannon has hit the seabed. I pull myself down the chain into the shadows. There's a shape below. I think it's Graves. Frantic, I drag myself towards him. He's right in front of me, though I can barely see the outline of his face. I think he's shaking his head at me, angry that I came back. I'm growing faint, and my arm is numb, and my skull is being crushed. Letting go of the chain, I pull the dagger from my wrist. My hand trembles. I fumble in the darkness. By some miracle, I find the lock on Graves' cuffs. I work the blade to coax it open, like I have 1,000 locks before, but my hands won't stop shaking. Even Graves must be terrified. His lungs must be giving out by now. The lock isn't budging. What would Malcolm do? I twist the dagger. No finesse, nothing but force. Something gives. I think I cut my hand. The dagger is falling into the abyss. There it goes. Is it glowing? Above me, bright red, red and orange, everywhere. It's beautiful, so this is what it's like to die. I laugh. Water rushes in. It's peaceful. Act 3, Part 3. Fire and ruin, the conclusion, turn for worse. Misfortune started across the harbor from the deck of her ship, the Siren. Flames reflected in her eyes as she was absorbed by the full level of destruction she had wrought. All that remained of Gangplank's ship was burning wreckage. The crew had been killed in the detonation, drowned in the chaos, or claimed by the swarming razorfish. It had been glorious. An immense ball of rolling fire had lit up the night like a new sun. Half the city had witnessed it. Gangplank himself had seen that, as she knew he would. He had to parade Twisted Fate and Graves in front of Bildgewater. He had reminded everyone why no one should cross him. To Gangplank, people were just tools used to maintain control, so he used that to kill him. Shouts and tolling bells echoed across the port city. The word would spread like wildfire. Gangplank is dead. The corner of her lips curled into a smile. Tonight was merely the end game. Hiring TF, tipping off Graves, all to distract Gangplank. It had taken her years to exact her revenge. Misfortune's smile faded. In the moment he had stormed into her family's workshop, his face hidden behind a red bandana. He had been preparing herself for this moment. Sarah lost both of her parents that day. She was just a child, but he shot her down as she stood watching her parents bleed out on the floor. Gangplank taught her a harsh lesson. No matter how safe you feel, your world, everything you've built, everything you care for, can be taken away in an instant. Gangplank's one mistake was not making sure that she was dead. Her anger and her hate had sustained her through that first cold, painful night, and every night since. For 15 years she had scraped together everything she needed, waiting until she wasn't even a memory to him, for the drop of his guard and to get comfortable in the life he'd built. Only then would he truly be able to lose everything. Only then would he know what it was like to lose his home, to lose his world. She should have been feeling exultant, but she felt empty. Joining her gunwale, Raphine jolted Sarah from her reverie. "He's gone," he said. "It's over." "No," replied Misfortune. "Not yet." She turned from the harbor, casting her gaze across Bildgewater. Sarah had hoped that killing him would kill her hate, but all it had done was unleash it. For the first time that day she felt truly powerful. "This is just the beginning," she said. "I want everyone loyal to him to be brought to answer. I want all the heads of his lieutenants mounted on my wall. Burn every bawdy house, tavern, and warehouse that bears his mark. I want his corpse." Raphine was shaken. He'd heard words like that before, but not from her. Act 3, Part 4. Red sky, chumming the waters, reconciliation. I thought a lot about the ways I wanted to go out. Chained up like a dog at the bottom of the ocean? That would never cross my mind. Lucky for me, TF manages to pop the lock on my shackles before he drops the dagger. I scramble out of the chains, thirsty for breath. I turn towards TF. Poor bastard's not moving. I twist my hand around his collar and start kicking towards the surface. As we go up, suddenly everything lights up bright red. A shockwave knocks me ass over ears. Chunks of iron sink past us. A cannon plunges by, then a charred hunk of rudder. Bodies, too. A face covered in tattoos stares in shock at me. The severed head then slowly disappears into the darkness beneath us. I swim faster, my lungs set to burst. An age later, I'm at the surface, coughing up salt water and gasping for air. But it's damn near unbreathable. Smoke chokes me and claws at my eyes. I've seen things burn in my time, but never like this. It looks like someone set the whole world on fire. Damn me, I muttered to myself. Gangplank ship is gone. Bits of smoking debris are scattered across the bay. Fiery islands of wood collapse around us, hissing as they go under. A flaming sail right in front of us, nearly dragging TF and me back down for good. Burning men desperately jumping from smoldering pieces of wreckage into the water, quieting their own screams. It smells like the end of everything. Sulfur, ash, and death, cooked hair, and melting skin. I check on TF. I'm struggling to keep him above water. Son of a bitch is a lot heavier than he looks, and it ain't helping that half my ribs are broke. I find a piece of scorched hull floating nearby. It looks solid enough. I pull us both on top. It ain't seaworthy, but it'll do. For the first time, I get a good look at TF. He ain't breathing. I wail on his chest with my fist. Just when I'm worried I'm going to cave his ribs in, he coughs out a lungful of seawater. I slump and shake my head again as he slowly comes to his senses. You son of a bitch, what did you come back for? It takes him a minute to answer. I thought I'd try it your way, he mutters, slurring his words, to see what it's like to be a stubborn ass. He hacks up more water. Feels awful. Razorfin and even meaner sea creatures are starting to gather around us, and I ain't about to be anything's chow. I pull my feet away from the edge. A mangled crewman bobs to the surface, grabbing for our raft. I plant my boot on his face and shove him off. A fat tentacle wraps around his neck and drags him back under. Now the fish has something else to keep them busy. Before they run out of fresh meat, I break off a plank from our raft and use it to paddle us away from the feeding frenzy. I pull out the water for what seems like hours. My arms are heavy and hurting, but I know better than to stop. Once I've put some distance between us and the massacre, I collapse onto my back. I've spent an empty shotgun shell looking over at the bay. It's stained red with the blood of Gangplank and his crews. Not a survivor in sight. How am I still breathing? Maybe I'm the luckiest man in Runeterra, or maybe TF's carrying enough good fortune for the both of us. I see a body floating by, holding something familiar looking. It's Gangplank's little inbred bastard, still clutching TF's hat. I take it off and toss it to TF. He ain't even a little surprised, like he knew he'd get it back. Now we need to find your gun, he says. What, you itching to go back down there? I say, pointing to the deep. TF turns a funny shade of green. We ain't got time. Whoever did this, they left Bildgewater without a boss, I tell him. It's gonna get ugly here, fast. You're telling me you can live without your gun? He asks. Maybe not, I say, but I know a really good gunsmith in Piltover. Piltover, he says, lost in thought. Lot of money flowing through there right now, I say. TF figures for a hard moment. I'm not sure about having you as a partner again. You're even dumber than you used to be, he finally answers. That's alright. I'm not sure about having a partner called Twisted Fate. Who the hell came up with that? Well, it's damn better sight than my real name, TF laughs. Fair enough, I admit. I grin. It feels just like the old days, when I go stone-faced and look him dead in the eye. Just one thing. If you have the mind to leave me holding the bag again, I'll blow your goddamn head off. No questions. Fate's laugh dies down, and for a moment he glares back at me. Then after a while, he just smiles. You've got a deal. So that's the end of part 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like and a subscribe, and feel free to comment below as to what you want me to read, or if you have any suggestions as to what I can do better or anything like that. And I hope that everybody has a nice day.